What's going on, good people? Thank you for tuning in to the Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard, brought to you by me, Angel. You can check it out each and every Wednesday. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever social media platform you utilize. If you would like to donate, you can go to anchor.fm/the Angels Online. If you would like to become a monthly sponsor, you can go to patreon.com/the Angels Online and become a monthly sponsor. But remember, whatever you choose to do, understand and know that you are appreciated. Now, let's get it. Good people. You got to get a people what they want. Woo! Good people. You got to get a people what they want. Woo! Good people. Yo, we got Swink in the building. What's up, Swink?
What's good? What's going on, good people?
Man, I'm living a dream. Man, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling awesome. I wake up awesome. I go to sleep awesome.
Okay, don't be scared of the mic now. It ain't gonna bite you. You got to bite it.
Next question.
Swink, we got Swink. He's from St. Louis. We gonna talk to Swink today about him growing up, things that he's went through, how he overcame certain situations, what he's doing now. So we're gonna start by saying, what's the word, Swink? Where you from, man?
Oh man, like you said, I'm from St. Louis. I'm from a little town called Sun Valley, a little hood called Sun Valley. Small hood, but it's all good. We know big family type hood. But I'm from St. Louis, born and raised, born on the west side, moved to St. Louis County. Nothing I thought was too special about it, but you know that's where I'm from.
How was your childhood? How was your childhood life?
See, and that's what I mean by nothing I thought was too special about it. I thought my childhood was typical until I started venturing out and realizing that St. Louis is a different place to grow up in. Like, you know, stuff like how the mayor told them a little while ago when she heard the gunshot, she didn't jump.
Right.
Like, that was my childhood. We didn't jump. We knew to sleep on the floor, stuff like that. But I thought that was normal until I got away from St. Louis.
Okay. Your education, you went to St. Louis Public Schools. Where'd you attend school?
Oh, man, I'm View Time. I'm Mr. View Time.
What's that?
I'm Riverview through and through.
Okay.
And I mean the hood era, the good era of Riverview when everybody who went there was family. I'm from that Riverview. Yeah, it's different right now, but me and some of the other alumni, we thinking about some things. We trying to change and get it back to when it had that pride to it. But yeah, I'm from Riverview.
Okay. You attend middle school, high school, and
I went to
elementary?
Riverview I think from 5th grade. Before that, I was at Cook. When I was on the west side, I was at Cook, and then came to Riverview. And from all the way, from most of everything from middle school up, and some elementary school too. I was at Riverview, so went to Riverview that whole time. Graduated from Riverview, but okay, let's break that down. Riverview put me out. I graduated with a Riverview diploma because I just didn't settle for the diploma they tried to give me. But I went to 2 alternative schools. I went to ASAN Ombudsman after Riverview put me out. So but my diploma says Riverview.
So that takes me to your behavior.
My behavior in school, what's crazy is I've never disrespected a staff and I think or a teacher or any of that in my life. Like I just wasn't brought up like that. I honestly didn't get in trouble. I really don't know why I was kicked out. I do. They said I was a nuisance. And the only thing I could think of is that and having a little drug issue maybe. But other than that, no. Like, my behavior, though, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like I was just, I maybe took people away from doing what they were supposed to be doing other than being I wasn't never the center of the trouble, but I knew how to I don't know how to explain.
You knew how to instigate. You know, you was a class clown.
Maybe, but no, I think it might have just been stuff. I remember when I was I felt like I was always in trouble anyway, and I had a friend of mine. I called her my sister, and she was doing something, and the teacher called her. But when the teacher called, I just said it was me. Sometimes I did that a lot. Like, it was me. It was like I was already like, I got it. Don't worry about it. You good. You don't get in trouble. I got it. I'll take it. I was going to ISS eventually anyway. So just go ahead and put that one on me.
Oh, wow. Go back. You just said, drug. Like, when you say drug, you sold drugs. This is high school that you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't Pablo Escobar, but I mean, getting your money was a normal thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
It got to the point it was like, well, who don't? It wasn't like I was special. Like I said, a lot of the things that people look at and say, wow, when you get out of I guess you could say your situation, the things they say wow are typical to you. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, he sold drugs. Everybody sold something. It was just you finding your lane, how you can make your money. I did a 1-2 step every now and then, It wasn't nothing to say hooray about, but it was enough to make things happen.
There it is. Okay. So street life. What? So you were in the streets, or you lived the street life back then?
I again, for anybody else, they gonna say yes. To me, I lived the normal. That was what we woke up and done. If you wanted to find us, you could find us up under the carport. 50 dudes outside, 20 of them in a dice game. The other one's smoking, the other one's drinking. Somebody looking at, like, that was normal stuff. And I didn't consider that street life until I found out that was not the norm for everybody waking up. My childhood, I think we was just mischievous kids. Like, we stayed into something. We always stayed into something that most parents, if they knew their kids was doing, would probably have a heart attack. So if we label it street life, I go with it. I wouldn't fight it and say it wasn't street life, but it was my normal. It was what I woke up and did every day.
Were you home with your parents? Did you live with both parents, or?
I was home with my mother until 16. I did have a stepfather, and I would say my stepfather was very important, but I think he came from the same element that I did, so he was only able to put into me what he knew. And my dad was real in and out between the streets and incarceration. So, like, I would see my dad for a couple months, then probably not see him for about 6 or 8. Then maybe if it's after that, it might be a couple years, and then he wind up, he'd be like, we finna go see your daddy. Be like, oh, he here? Like, no, he just got shot. We know he at the hospital, so
Lord,
this time we can go see him because he's sitting down. But yeah, I grew up with both parents until they both passed.
Okay. Your stepfather still here?
Yeah.
You still talk to him?
OG Frank Carter, man, he's still here. Walton Park's finest. You still go over there and find him every now and then.
Okay. So let me say, because you say you wouldn't go out the street life. What all were you involved in the streets?
I would say the biggest thing that, like I brought up, the parents would probably have a heart attack. If they knew the ruckus, like I said, the drugs to me and all that stuff, that was just normal. That was a way of making money. But the trouble that we caused in the streets, like my motto has been since I started my program and things like that, we tore the streets down. It's time for us to build them back up. Like, we broke it, let's fix it. Mm-hmm. We caused ruckus everywhere we go. Like, everywhere we go. Like, you knew when we walked in, we were going to fight. We were going to tear your shit apart. I'm sorry, can I say that?
It's fine. We got you.
Okay. We were going to tear everything apart. We, like, you knew it got to the point where people would see us and not want to let us into stuff. Like, that was just an era I think I grew up in before everybody shot everything up, which we had those situations too. but it was rare that we even wanted to go there. We just wanted to beat you up real good and move on about our way. And if you wanted to do it again, we do it again. But it very rarely got to anything like that. But like I said, it was a lot of chaos for us.
What about guns and gangs?
My era of guns and gangs, I would say we had them. We used them, but it was, like I said, it was very rare. The gang thing was more. The gang thing was more, and I think it was more of a thing for Riverview people. If you know, we didn't beef with each other, so and with that being your surrounding area, it was hard for our gangs to get into it like that over gang stuff. It was, we all grew up together, so certain neighborhoods would be like, it would always be a way to sometimes maybe mediate stuff, because it's like, yeah, we beefing, but dude, we went to school together from kindergarten to 5th grade. Now we just got a little separated because we got older, our neighborhoods. Right. But you could usually, and when it couldn't get smoothed over, stuff happened. Stuff that is still people around it. So I can't really, but stuff happened. Right. People were shot. People are still in jail. People can't come around. It's people that I'm talking about, beefs from all the way back in the 90s that they cannot come around here till this day, and they probably will never come around. Faces will never be good, ever.
What gang did you identify with back then?
So, like I said, I'm from Sun Valley. Sun Valley, we don't call it, we not a gang. We're a family. Definitely associate myself with Crips, but we don't look at it as a gang. We look at it as a family. And if people do the actual research on it, it's not necessarily a gang. It never started off to be a gang. You can read it. You can look at Gangland, and they can tell you about people with canes and all this. Crips started off just like Black Panthers. It's no difference. It's supposed to be a revolutionary group. But a lot of stuff happened. Like some stuff they got right with drugs coming into the neighborhood and changing things up, stuff like that. But we don't look at it as a gang. Sun Valley is a family.
Did you at any point, do you have any feelings of guilt or remorse for things that happened back then, whether it was the drugs, whatever it was, going in, fighting?
What was funny about me is I always had remorse, even when it was happening, but it didn't matter if I had the remorse. It was stuff that had to be done then. My friends used to talk about me because I'm talking about after we would have some of the biggest fights, shootouts, all that stuff, I always come back and be like, did that have to happen, y'all? And they'd be like, shut up. They'd be like, straight up, shut, like, don't nobody want to hear that. Far as with the drugs, drugs was so implanted with my life, especially with my father being an addict. That was stuff I thought was normal, so that was kind of more of me looking at it like, this how people get by. Weed, I never really cared about ever. I'm still I don't even smoke weed, and I'm still an advocate for it. I think people need it. So I never felt bad about that ever in my life, and I never would feel bad about anybody selling somebody some gas. That's not going to happen. But, yeah, the other stuff, once I got older, you start to look at, and I taught this too, you start to look at the trickle-down effect of how you are affecting people when you put things into the neighborhoods and stuff like that. You never really think, you're trying to feed yourself. Right. So you don't think about it like that. But you look at the trickle-down effect after you mature and you see what it's done. That takes a lot of maturity, though.
So that leads to the next question. What lessons did you learn out there in the streets?
How to count.
Would you like to share with the listeners? How to count money, right? Well, I know how to count money now. You ain't gonna short me.
I learned a lot, but it was never easy. Most of the lessons that I would say I learned came from experience, like just things happening to me and one thing I learned, I say the biggest thing I learned, if you don't listen to God, He'll put you where He wants. He'll put you where He wants you. Mm-hmm. Like you get a certain amount of chances, and I don't know what the amount is, but when He's trying to tell you something, He'll let you live. But when He's trying to tell you something, I need you to do something, He gonna put you where He wants you. I got put where I needed to be. I think certain bad things happened to me on purpose. I think without certain bad things happening to me, I would never be who I was. I thank God for all the bad things that happened to me. Maybe they wasn't bad.
What is one of the worst things that happened to you?
One of the worst things that happened to me is one of the best things that happened to me is when I got shot.
Tell us about it.
When I can tell you, yeah, I can tell you a little bit. When I got shot my shot was from a robbery, attempted robbery, whatever you want to call it. But I got shot one time across my whole abdomen. So from one side of my abdomen to the other side. And that's a kill shot. Like, it went through really everything. Mm-hmm. But I was able to make it. At that time, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was about to become a family man. And I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was in a crossroad. I didn't know what to do next. And when that happened, I think I've told people about this. I think I experienced the worst pain I ever did in my life. Not from getting shot, but from getting shot. When your adrenaline going, it don't hurt like that. But waking up feeling like you finna die. The best way I can explain it is like when you're playing a video game, you start getting beat and your power going away, and like you getting beaten every time you get hit, your power start to go down. Your power start to go down. That's what it feel like dying. It feel like your life is being sucked out. It's like, boom, okay, you one step closer. You're getting closer. You're almost gone, and then you're gone. I felt that, and I've never felt nothing like that again ever, and don't want to. But I think that was just to show me what it could have been. After I felt that, I think they revived me. Well, I know they revived me, and that's when I guess my relationship with God came in, because I prayed. Not prayed. We talked. We made a agreement, and after we made that agreement, I never felt. Now that was the other side of it. I felt the worst pain on the first time when I was fighting. Second time when we made the agreement, I felt the worst joy. I mean, I felt the best joy I've ever felt. I've never felt like that again. Probably won't ever again. But it felt like, if you could ever think about like somebody like a giant or something wrapping their hands around you and saying, "I got you."
Right.
I felt nothing could come from no type of way to harm me. I knew I was good then, but I didn't wake up till about a month later. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I was on a mission. I've been on a mission since. It's kind of hard. It's not like I blocked out my past. I didn't. I know where I came from.
Right.
But my future and my present has been so, it's kept me so busy. It's kind of hard to go back. I never mind talking about it. I never mind helping others with it, but it is what it is. It's my past. So.
Did you sustain any lifelong injuries?
Nothing that I can't get around with. No, only PTSD. I mean, yeah, in my brain. But I think all of us are born with it. Well, not born with it, but by the time we get out to the streets, like a lot of us, we pay no attention to some of the mental disorders and things like that we picked up along the way. We won't go to doctors. We won't see what's wrong with us. Most of everybody I know, especially my guys that grew up with me, you got PTSD. You have it. It comes with the territory. It's a sad thing to say. A lot of people don't understand it, but we have PTSD. So, yeah.
What you're from your wounds with the gunshot. What do you you have with your stomach?
Mm-hmm.
Plate.
Yeah, I still have my plate. That'll never go anywhere. I had ribs moved to the side so they stick out. But like I said, nothing. I had ribs moved down, so it's like my ribs are not in the same place. I mean, it's more cosmetic than anything. It's nothing that I wake up and it's like, oh, I can't do this because of this or nothing like that. It's all stuff that you look at and it's constant reminders. Like my belly button. My belly button is like on the side of my stomach type stuff, but it's a constant reminder of, okay, you here on borrowed time. You got a reason to be here, and that's more of how I look at it. Nothing that says, oh, I can't get up and walk or nothing like that. Like this, my bullet still is in my hip. Sometimes it gets on my nerves, but that's about it.
Do it hurt or just like annoying?
It's annoying.
Oh, okay.
It's annoying.
So you being shot, what is your take on gun violence?
Break that down a little bit for me.
Because it's a lot going on. There's a lot of kids that they just want to talk about it. Like, how do you feel about gun violence? So much going on right now. It's unnecessary. Is it?
It's definitely unnecessary. But it's hard for me to talk about stuff being unnecessary to see. One thing about these kids, and like this might be where you get me to talk. One thing about these kids is nobody can understand or question them or talk about what they doing if you have not been in the position. Even if you have been in the position, none of us that like even the ones that call themselves OGs like me, we have not been in these kids' position today. We can say, well, we was in the same streets and it was worse. Or they have a total different monster that we've never dealt with. When we were growing up, it was hard to beef with people from other sides of the city. We didn't even know each other. All it takes is one tweet, one Facebook comment, one song on YouTube, and now everything is spread. If me and you got into a fight, or me and somebody in our neighborhood or two neighborhoods next to each other, the only people really knew about that fight was the people who were around or the people in the surrounding areas. Now, it's going to be people in Oklahoma who know you got beat on.
Right.
Because it got shared 3,000 times.
Right.
And now you feel like you got to get your lick back. You got to prove yourself.
You've been embarrassed. Social media.
That's easy for somebody in their 30s to say, I don't have to do that. I ain't got to prove myself to nobody. You got to really think who you was at 15, 16, 17. Was you going to go prove yourself? Now, I know for a fact, most of the people around me, we was going to get our lick back. You couldn't take that L. But we didn't have the access to the guns either. That wasn't a thing for we out of 40 people, we probably had about six guns growing up all together. Like you had to go get the gun.
Right.
Like it was like, I'm going to get the gun. Like I'm finna go get one of them. But it wasn't like everybody had it. Now not everybody got a pistol. Everybody got a pistol, assault rifle. They can go to what they want to. Like I feel like wearing the Drake today. They can do that.
Oh my God.
But I think that's the difference. That's one of the differences. Another difference is you hear this in a lot of people's, I guess they raps and stuff like that, or just older people talking. I consider myself older people, so us talking, my peers, Granny and this guy, they not around. Like the people who watch the neighborhoods and stuff, we are not a culture anymore, a family. Even though the crime was around then, and it might not necessarily, you had an elder you could go talk to back then. You had an elder that would pull you to the side and say, I know what you're doing. I heard about you doing this. Or you also had, and this is where I say that Sun Valley a family thing. We didn't play about certain stuff happening in our neighborhood. We was into everything that everybody else was into. But like we had a candy lady. She could quickly come home and tell us, gift in front of her house. If she had to tell us, we was going to move before she even did it. But we took care of our own. That's how the neighborhoods was back then. Now it's glorified to backdoor people. it's glorified to say, we was loyal all these years, and now I got you. Like that was sucker to us. Like that, you was a sucker for that. Like you couldn't. That couldn't be your man, and you backdoor him, or you know a way to get on top from benefiting off him, and you take it.
Right.
That was unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was a G code, as people call it. It was a code back then. That code is gone. It's out the window. The code is not a thing anymore.
Woo! Talk to me, Swink. What about this music out here these days? You think that plays a part?
Yeah. Only because, like I said, it's accessible. I think, okay, we'll go back to like right after I graduated. They had, it was a good, that was around the time where YouTube and stuff just started hitting. And I know of two neighborhoods or two groups that had diss songs on each other, and they were dissing each other bad, but it kind of stayed between them. You know what I'm saying? Like between that area, that section, like you knew that they was dissing each other, but only we knew. So that beef that they had kind of, it stayed grounded. They were still going to beef, but it stayed grounded because they were going to beef with each other right there. Whatever happened with them, it happened with them right there. Now it's like you got the people who going to pick up off of it. If I beef with you and we make a song about it, as soon as we make that song about it, somebody else going to benefit off of, like, somebody else going to benefit, like, okay, we made the song, we got into it. Now I'm finna make a song and say, forget both of them, and I'm gonna come on just like them. So now it's a three-way beef, and then it's just a quick way for people to capitalize on each other. Mm-hmm. Then a lot of the music is crash outs. It's a lot of these guys who are not who they say they are. They find somebody who can act the part good enough, put them in a position and say, we need you to act a damn fool. We know this is what the kids want. Like I say, somebody like a black youngster, man, that dude is intelligent. He's not the fool that he portrays. He's intelligent. It's just like a Plies. Plies when he first came out. Plies came out as Plies was murdered, killed when he came out. That was Plies with the ski man like that. Plies was like that, and people paid attention to it. That's not Plies' life. He didn't put it on social media. That's not his life. He was rapping about somebody else's life. And when they do that, I think they just thinking about, I want to get rich just like anybody else.
The audience you got to give the people what they want.
Give them what they want. If that's what they want, you can get rich off of it. Let's do it. But they're not thinking about, like you said, the outcome. They're not thinking about what's gonna happen with the people after that. It's a bigger picture. I used to feel the same way about when we were young. We did music. I started thinking about, can I really? My nephew right now, we had a moment where it was like, how much can I support? Because I'm kind of trying to fight what you rapping about. But then again, I thought about it, prayed on it, and it came to me as, man, if you got a young cat who doing whatever it is they doing it, support them. Because what they already getting is no support. They already don't have support coming from everywhere else. If they found some type of lane, just try to help them doctor it, but don't fall off of their train. Don't not be one of the people who gonna support them. Don't knock them. Just figure it out.
That's good. You had mentioned having a family or whatnot. Mm-hmm. You were getting ready before the robbery, and you were caught in that crossfire. You have a family now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Kids? Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Well, it's the whole shebang.
Married, the whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Yeah, I'm like the family man. Basketball games on the weekends, all that. Like I'm that now. And what's crazy is I say 95% of my friends, the same one. Like we kind of made it. Like we talk to each other on like a group chat, mm-hmm. and we be like, dude, we proud of each other because we we were part of that chaos that was in St. Louis. We were a big part of it, and the ones who made it, most of them, we are like that. We are really concerned with each other's kids. We know what's going on with them. We like us. What do they say? We a village. That's the word I'm looking for. And the ones who didn't make it, them too. You know, we try to keep their names lifted. You know, one of my best friends, my brothers, he didn't make it to see parenthood and stuff like that. Like he never got to that point. But we try to keep him lifted with our kids. Like my kids know exactly who Big A is. They know who they Uncle Aaron is. They see him on Christmas ornaments. They talk. My son's middle name is Aaron. And we just recently lost one. So, I mean, that's another thing to show you, even with this family stuff. And one thing I will tell the kids is when you start picking your life, people are going to die regardless. That's just part of life. You're born to die. But the life you pick and the lane you go down, you will see the difference in the deaths you have to deal with as you coming along. Like, I don't feel like at 36, I should be dealing with the same type of deaths I dealt with at 21, but I am. Because everybody can't leave it alone.
Right.
And everybody don't get the message. Like, I got plenty of partners who got shot at the same year as I did, went to jail same time when I got shot, all that stuff. All that stuff was happening at the same time. Everybody took their own lane. And I will say that I never had no pushback from none of mine. Like, none of my partners that came to me and been like, bro, you soft for that or nothing like that. They know that ain't the case. But they like, dude, I see what you doing. Like, I love it. Like, keep doing it. And that's really where I be at with it. Like, I want people to support me trying to do good as much as they supported when we was doing all the bad. We was brother. That's my brother. They stood on us when it was time to go do that. But not when you trying to do something good, you want that same type of love. You want that same type of support. And I say I get a little bit compared to what I got when it was bad stuff.
Do your kids know about back in the day?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of, my scars are kind of hard to hide. I would have to just all the time wear a hoodie, not even a shirt, because you still see them. My daughter has a lovely voice, and everybody who know me. They know that I was big into music when I was young. I looked at the music, the whole music thing, like it was something that didn't fit into my lifestyle. So I really didn't use it. And I do believe that if you don't use your gift, God will take it from you. And I hate to this day, like, I can't help her. She has fine tuning that she needs done that I feel like I know I'm going to have to pay for, like a vocal coach. And it's stuff I know I could help her with if I was able to do it.
If you would have took a different route.
If I wouldn't have took that route, I wouldn't have to get a tracheotomy. They wouldn't have had to cut my throat. My sister, that was like that was who was making my decisions because my mother was passed. But my sister did not want to let them cut my throat. She knew about my voice. She did not. She knew how I loved my rapping, my singing. She knew what I did. She did not want to let, but it was either that or he don't get to live. So cut. But that's one of the things, without even seeing my scars, the kids know exactly because of that, because of the raspiness of my voice. They know that. They see that scar. But I don't hide it from them. But my kids so far off of my lifestyle that it's like it's like looking at a movie to them. It's like they can't even believe people would be like that. Like,
right.
Yeah, it's like
oh my God.
Like, what was wrong with you? And when you look at it, kids say they're doing this thing, you look at it like, damn, I was stupid. If the kids saw that what I was doing was stupid, how did I see it? But
right.
Like I said in the beginning of the interview, it was normal. That was my normal. So somebody from the outside looking in, saying, why would you do this? Why would you do that? I just don't understand. You right. You just don't understand. That's the issue. You just don't understand. And it's not for you to understand. I don't wake up for you every day to understand. It's for the people who have been through it and made it out to show people in the same positions, look, if I can get you to stop, I'm going to get you to stop. But if not, this is how you navigate through so you can get to where I'm at. Because on this side, where you don't have to watch your back 24/7, where you can sit with your partners and laugh and, you know, it might not turn, and it's not going to turn into nothing, nobody rolling past or nothing like that. It's a beautiful scene over here. Like, it's beautiful on this other side. And I tell the kids that all the time, it's beautiful over here, bro. I hope you get to it. Like, I can see you got it in you, but you might not get that second revive like I did. You might just be gone then. I mean, you came from where I came from, Ramsey. We started around the same time almost. You know, we kept track of it. I got, just in the 5 years of me working inside of
Juvenile Detention Center.
Yeah, I got 25 kids. That's a 5-year kid average. That means at least one for every season and a plus.
Right.
So winter, spring, summer, fall, somebody gonna die.
Look,
I got 25 and that's off the top. That's what I was counting when I was there. I don't know how many passed after I left. I stopped after I left. But I know more did. I remember.
That's when a little text message gets sent. You remember him?
Yeah.
You remember him?
Yeah.
You know, and you look at it, and that's why I launched the Angels Online, like you just said, because if somebody's life is not for somebody to understand, it's for those who might be going through it, who so they can see that there's another outlook on life, you know. And working in a juvenile detention where I worked at, where you worked at, you know, I worked with adults. I wanted to have something, so because everybody can talk to these kids. You got the psych unit talking to the kids. Everybody talking to the kids. But they want to hear from somebody who really went through it and see how they can navigate, no matter what topic it is. And that's why when we hit on topics in season 2, you know, we'll break down in different topics and have more people, you know, speaking about them, because that's a huge point that you just said. You got to give these people what they want. These kids, these youth, they're concerned. And they want to know, was it accepted? Is it accepted? Is it normal? How about we normalize the conversations with them? How about we get them this information? So
I tell people all the time, like, you have to live in where people are at the moment. Just like when they say you talk to a child, you got to sometimes come down to their level and speak with them. You have to do that with our youth too, and it might be mentally. You got to think where you were at 16. Mm-hmm. Come down there. You have to live where they are for a minute. And what I mean by that is, like you said, you can have the doctor of all doctors in the world come speak to a kid, which that would really impress me as an adult. I would be like, you made it through all these things. You did this, you did that. That's super impressive to me as an adult in the stage where I'm at. But to a 16-year-old kid who listens to Pooh Shiesty, that's not impressive to them.
Right.
Your degree and all of your certificates are equal to somebody who's locked up with all of their scars and their years that they've done in the penitentiary. Mm-hmm. So that's what's impressive to them. While you're impressing me with your paperwork, the child is impressed by somebody who has their name on no paperwork. Like, and if you don't get what I mean by that, that's what I mean by that.
Yep.
If you don't get what I mean by not having your name on any paperwork, that's exactly what I mean. You have to step into where they are.
And you got to be able to understand them. And that's the thing. You can have a million degrees, but, you know, like me, like you know, coming from, you know, me being from the South Side. Look, scratch them degrees. Hold on. I know the streets, too. Hold on. Because
and it really
and we live this, man.
It blew my mind. Like, you know, we have mutual friends. And when I found out who some of your mutual friends were, I was like, wait a minute. Because, wait a minute. She treated me like the thug of all thugs. And I know for a fact that dude worse than me. Or this girl, she don't know, like, me and this girl know each other like that. We've been right next to each other doing all of the wrong. And this your people, this is where you come from.
Come on, man, look. I'm just like everybody else, man.
You know how to put on the cape when you walk through that door.
You know what to say.
You know how to put on the cape when you walk through that door. See, but there's levels. I didn't know how to do that yet. Mm-hmm. I know how to do it now. But it's levels of maturity. Mm-hmm. I came through that door like I was. Boots on, hat cocked to the side. And you're going to take it how you going to get it. And you knew how to say, I don't know anything of what this fool does. I've never been in this situation. all along, it's like, okay.
When I walk out this door and I get in my car,
like I can call
you better leave
people.
Angel alone, guy. Because I call them people, man. You know where I'm from. Quit playing with me now. I just didn't let my circumstances determine my outcome. My life.
And that's I feel like that's a blessing. You found something though, and there you go. You found something, even though you a smart woman. I think, you're a hooper. You found something to cling on to that took you away. A lot of these kids have the same thing. And I remember having a kid. I don't remember exactly what it was, which kid it was or what program it was, but I remember it was an acting program type thing. And this kid probably had never did anything like that in his life. But once he went to the program, when he was in the juvenile detention and he started doing the acting and things like that, me and a couple other workers were like, dude, you talented. Like, you need to try for like a show or something. Like, this is second nature for you. Him growing up or him waking up at his house every day, nobody probably told him that you should go try to be an actor.
Yep.
But he was awesome. I'm talking about this little dude they was doing Shakespeare, if I'm right. Yeah, they was doing Shakespeare. And
I think I know the program you're talking about.
Yeah, he was awesome. I was like, dude, when you get out of here, you need to find something to do, like far as that. And I think that's what kind of flipped me with everything, because instead of telling kids, you need to find something to do, I was like, dude, I can't just keep telling them. I need to try to help. I got to do something when I get out. I got to make myself available for these kids. And that's really how the trap started, and I started meeting people and things like that. But yeah,
you gotta find it. Yeah, and sports really, helped me out. I love sport, and that's why I try to tell the parents. A lot of kids, they might be super talented, but they don't have the finances. A lot of times it's no finances, or their parents don't really understand. Hey, put him in, put her in this, put him. They're good, or they want to do it. You got to get, if you have the opportunity, give them the opportunity.
And don't try to put them in what you want them in.
Let them fill it out for themselves. You might have people, you got actors who don't start till they 35. You got basketball players who don't start. Hell, Allen Iverson was a football player, right? Mm-hmm. He went to the NBA.
I got a cousin who got it. He played basketball all his life. Senior year was when he chose to say, I'm going out for football. And I think people was against it. That was when he had no scholarship offers in basketball. He got a scholarship offer in his last year. See? I mean, you never not let these kids. I mean, it could be. I learned chess, everything. Like I seen juvenile children play the chess match. Like they got chess matches or whatever they call. I've seen them play and hold their own. I've seen them beat them, and like as soon as they get out of jail, they're gonna go right. Like that was a huge thing with the kids.
Right back to the neighborhood we got them out of.
They got to go back home. So we can teach as much as we want to, get them where they, man, and this is even with adults. Just because you over it and you think that, I'm done, that don't mean what you left out. You left that out there. You still got stuff that ain't done with you. So if you out here beefing with everybody and you think, okay, well, I'm going back to the streets and I don't want to beef with nobody else. I'm chilling. I'm trying to change my life. It don't work like that. You already laid down what you was gonna do. Mm-hmm. It has to come back some type of way. So that's why I try to tell people that St. Louis is not the whole world. Sometimes you got to leave to recreate yourself. Mm-hmm. You have to, or sometimes you just got to leave to get a peace of mind so you can come back and be. I know I did. You can come back and be a better person. But St. Louis is not the world.
You come back, spread that knowledge, what you learn. And that's important. Tell us about your program that you have that you started. Tell us about it.
It's probably my most, other than my children and my family. Period. It's probably like the most proud thing I've ever done. If you ever talk to me about you already did, but if you ever talk to me about like my mother, my father, I left a lot of things for him to be proud about, because what made him proud was some of the stuff I was doing wrong, but. He was an awesome person, too. The streets changed a lot of people, but he was an awesome person. But anyway, I said I never did anything to make my mama proud. She would have been super proud of my program. She never got to see me do anything that made her proud. Started my program from working inside the juvenile detention center. picked up a rapport with most of the kids, and it was like they were already come to me for, I would say, counseling on certain situations. They just wanted to talk to me about certain stuff that I could relate to. And my homeboy, Frankie, who everybody know, if you know Swink, you know Frankie, but he had just came home from being incarcerated, and we kept talking about the youth and stuff like this, and then I would tell him about work, and he was like, well, what can we do about it? At that time, it was around the a little bit after the Ferguson stuff too, and me and Darren Seals, we were good friends at that time. Well, I would say we were good associates. I don't like to use that word so loosely. He has friends that deserve that title, so we were good associates at the time. And I talked to him about the same thing. So the original people to start with my program is called The Trap, and it stands for Taking Responsibility, Accepting Progression. So me, Darren, and Frankie were the original people to start the program. What I learned with trying to get Frankie into it is a lot of people who are put in places to help the kids, they really don't want to see them be helped, because the people who can help them is the people they shun away from them. I'll say that. But Darren, on the other hand, when we started the program, Darren came to do his paperwork on Friday.
I remember. I'm the one that gave him his paperwork.
Yeah, and you was like, man, this dude, he got to come back. He didn't feel this, that, and that out.
Uh-huh.
I said, I saw Darren at the club, because I was doing my security thing. I saw him at the club, and I told him, hey, I need you to come fill out that paperwork. Man, bro, I came up there. I said, you did, and you didn't fill out a lot of the paperwork. I need you to come back up there. I bet. I'm going to come up there Monday. He got killed Sunday. He got killed that Sunday. He was never able to come do the program with me from all the work he did in Ferguson and all this stuff. I knew this would have been something that he prospered at. And I know, he would have related to the kids more than me. I know for a fact. I give him his credit. I gave him his flowers when he was here. I'm going to give him to him while he gone. He would have definitely prospered better than me, because I look like one of their big cousins. Mm-hmm. He looked like them. Mm-hmm. He was very,
small. He was
the locks, the way he dressed, the way he moved around. Sometimes the way he talked, how loud he was. Sometimes he was very impressive to them. He was a lion though. You know what I'm saying? He went and got what he wanted. We started off as enemies. Everybody know we did not like each other. God put me and Darren together, and a common friend in the middle. But yeah, so that's how the program started. From there, I got to meet guys who were like-minded like me. So what we did is I used my influence to bring those guys into the building and be able to speak with the kids from their neighborhood so they could see them in a different realm. They can't have these certain conversations with them outside of that, because it's hard to be vulnerable around your peers.
Right.
So I would bring these guys in, and I got to give them their roses while they here. Mir from the projects. Everybody who does any type of street work, and I'm telling you, I hope that they keep pushing this young man, because for real, that young man is the quarterback to get St. Louis where it need to be. Mir from the projects. He was intricate in everything I did. Not only because I'm a county boy. Even though I came from the city, everybody know it's a city-county thing. And my name good. My name good. I can stand on my 10 toes wherever I'm at. But coming down there in them projects, the projects, it's something it's just like Sun Valley. Even though they beef and all that, they a family. Mm-hmm. You don't get to just cross that water like that to come into the projects. Mir was my sale guy. It was like, okay, I went down and did turkeys and giving away turkeys in the projects. When I was younger, I wouldn't walk around the projects. That wasn't what you did. Because it's like, I ain't welcome down here. They don't know me. I don't know them. Mm-hmm. But to be able to do that with him, it was cool. It was cool. I can spread my wings now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm meeting people on my journey for doing this program.
Connecting and networking.
Yeah, and then another guy. So we got Frankie, we got Mir, and the other guy was Rashad. Rashad was I needed Rashad because he was a very good athlete. But when you go at Riverview, you can be the best athlete and a dope boy. It's easy. That was just one of the things that was normal to us again. Just because you was, I say top 5 running backs from Riverview, and I know one of them was like one of the most notorious street names in our history, as far as over there on our side. But he could have been great. I feel like he had very good talent. Anyway, going back to Rashad was that example I needed to say you can be in the best position and still mess it up. And this is how you get back on. Because Rashad rebuilt himself. He didn't let his, let the circumstance, what'd you say?
Didn't let the circumstances determine their outcome.
There you go. He didn't let that happen. He was the one who connected me with Mir. So it was like things was just happening. I prayed on it. I was like, dude, darn gone. How can I fix this? How can I still do this? And on the other side of it, you know, I have been outside most of my life, so I didn't know how to write up a proposal or none of that. So on that end, it was my dude Kalen Mayfield, which I never even knew he cared that much. And Mayfield hasn't stopped helping me on things to this day because he's so nonchalant about stuff. He just be chilling.
Right.
Like he just chilling on it, and he say, I don't care. But when it comes to something he care about, he gonna throw it all into it. He sat me down. He was like, "Swink, you should have been made the program." He going off on me, talking real fast, and it's like, dude, okay, bro, all right. He's like, they talk to you anyway. They listen to you. You one of the only ones they listen to. Just do a program, bro. I'm like, okay, I got you. So he sat down with me, done the paperwork with me. We turned it in. They knew how I navigated through the building and the respect the kids had for me, so they kind of gave me ultra leeway on what I could do. My program is no holds barred. We gonna cry, we gonna laugh, we gonna talk, and if you feel like something's inappropriate, don't come to this program. Don't come. Like, we gonna talk about the stuff that your kids actually going through.
Right. That's what it's about.
I'm not gonna talk to them about having unprotected intercourse and like that's not how our conversation goes. We're gonna talk about this same exact thing, but it's not gonna go like that because that's not how they talk. I want to talk to them how they talk. I have to come down to their level. Like, we had a group used to come in called the 100 Black Men.
Right.
I used to tell people, and Vision Ahead. I used to tell people all the time that those groups are perfect for me. Like, they are therapy for me. Those are people that I'm looking at where it's saying, I want to be like them. I want to get to their level. You skipping a level for the kids, and that's what I brought in. It's like you don't have the direct level of what's their next step. They can't climb out of the darkness they in and become 100 Black men. That's not going to happen.
Nope, it's steps you got to take. You got to get there.
It's not going to happen. But yeah, my program is just, it's therapy session, man. It's street therapy. That's the best way I can explain it. It's street therapy, and I can't forget, I needed a female. I needed a female, and when I say I opened this up to all the females I knew, I put it on Facebook. I said who, would want to do this and do that, and I had so many females. I had a domestic violence day I had planned because the kids, believe it or not, your kids believe that it's okay for kids to put their mate to put their hands on each other. Y'all all should talk to y'all kids about that because they think that that's a thing. They think that they don't care about them if they won't. We've heard them say it.
I've had kids write to me and say they wanted to hear more about domestic violence.
So with that, and I understood it could be a touchy situation, but I had about 7 females that volunteered and 1 male, because it happens to males too.
Right.
But nobody came. Not one. Not one. I had never been stood up on doing my program. Not one person came. It was like everybody talked it. Right. Nobody walked it. But my sister had to talk. She was like, baby, that's a very touchy situation. They might have thought that they was able to do it. But once it came to time, they couldn't. I said, well, they could have called. Just like the young lady I'm finna bring up did. One of the young ladies who volunteered to always do my stuff was a girl named Kendra. Never thought that she would be the one to want to help the kids or nothing like that. I just didn't think so. But she came, and she came faithfully. And I thought it was going to be a problem because she's a pretty young lady. And I knew that how the boys work when you brought
Right.
females like that in there. But she demanded her respect, and she didn't have any issues. I thought she was just gonna help the girls. It didn't happen like that. She came through and she stepped up for me, and that was the real. I had other people come, but that was the base of my program.
Well, I tell you. We're going to wrap this up. Are there any additional opportunities for improvement you expect to see in yourself in a few years' time?
Yeah. For the last 3 years now, 2 years. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of charity. I try to do 4 events a year. The one that's been the most consistent would be my ugly sweater ball that I do, and it's a toy drive. First year it wasn't small actually, but I was able to deal with 7 kids. I adopted 7 kids out of my toy drive. But this year I would say I went crazy this year. Like, well, I didn't do it. You all went crazy. I won't lie. Like, it's a fundraiser, and I can't say that I did anything but transport and promote for the fundraiser. I was able to do 16 kids altogether. 16 kids that I helped provide a Christmas for, and you all made it possible. So that's one thing that I want to improve on. I want my fundraiser to get bigger and bigger. On Juneteenth, I do a give back where I don't ask for anything. I really want y'all to just bring the kids out, and you come out and let me show that I appreciate you all doing all these things for me and helping me throughout, through the year.
Juneteenth.
Make
sure you let us know.
Yeah, my next one with this, I'm gonna do a toy drive with some other people. I mean, not a toy drive, back to school drive with some other people. But the next one I do on myself, will be my trunk or treat, and the fundraiser for that will be a players ball. It will be a Halloween costume party that provides the money for me to be able to do the trunk or treat for the kids. Every party I throw is a fundraiser.
Okay.
So that's
Good.
how I do those.
Good.
And I want to not necessarily, I want to find a way to get into the lane of how can I find a way to make what I'm doing be able to go into the schools, or able to go into, I want to make this bigger than what it is.
Like the Angels Online.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it kind of hit me when you called me. I was like, dude, I'm talking about a couple hours ago, just said in my head, and I just started writing stuff down and stuff like that. Then you called me, and it was like, was she how she heard what was going on in my brain? But yeah.
You got any future plans for yourself individually?
Other than making this trap thing huge and trying to be the best father I can be, I'm okay with it. My future plans are to make other people's future brighter. Good.
So in every session, there's a do you, like a question that you can ask the people, and it's for them to engage with one another. So they can go to school and be like, what was the do you? So what would your do you to the people be? Any question, whatnot. So, episode 1, Mr. Perry said, what's the legacy that you feel like you're leaving? Or do you feel like you're leaving a legacy behind? And his is his kids.
I think one of the things I try to always ask people when we talk about these situations, as far as the crime or the kids and stuff like that, I ask them, do you hold your own people accountable?
Ooh, the do you from Swink. Do you hold your own people accountable?
And I mean, far as when you have a cousin, a brother, a sister, a auntie, whoever it is, and you say, this is so bad, this is so this, and this is so that, do you hold those people? Do you tell those people it's so bad? Do you step into their comfort zone and tell them you're wrong? Or do you have those conversations? What do you do with the ones that you can actually put your hands on?
Look at Swink. Ladies and gentlemen, that is today's episode. Stay tuned for every episode. You can reach out at info@theangelsonline.org. You can go to the website, www.theangelsonline.org. You can find an episode on YouTube. You can find it on Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Swink. Swink, do you have any final things that you want to say? Any way people can get in touch with you? Let us know.
If you want to get in touch with me, I'm OG Swink on every social network platform. OG Swink. SWINK. OG is the regular OG. But nothing for myself. But I do want to say that if anything I said is something that you're already doing, I want to network. Like I want to build the biggest team of people who want to try to. And you can't say save the streets, but let's help them. If you know somebody who is on the same lane as me, push me towards them. Like I want to connect with those people.
That's what we doing. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. See you on the next episode of the Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard. You got to give people what they want. Hey, Swink, say good people, good people. Give us a good people, good people.
Like how you did it. No, I'm just going good people, good people.
Good people, good people. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard. Please stay tuned for the next episode next Wednesday, each and every Wednesday, and hopefully we motivate, influence, and inspire you. You are someone's angel. Remember, all voices matter. Peace and love from the Angels Online, Voice of the Unheard.